say, how many of you would like to be lawyers? And I think I saw only one hand up. Council, right? And when I walked in, I also put up my arm because I'm also still a student, even at my old age. I'm a student of the law, and I think, God willing, come 5th of July, I should be graduating with a Bachelor of Laws. So it means that this afternoon, I am privileged to speak to the rightful people. The specific area of interest, ladies and gentlemen, will be about character. Are we there? How many of you have ever been slapped by either their age mate or anyone? Just somebody slapping you. Hey. Hey. Oh my goodness. Okay, you can put down your hands. It literally means that the pain you felt when you were slapped by that person, would you regard that person as being good for having slapped you? Whether you were in wrong or you were, I do not know, but in one way or the other, you were slapped. Alright? Let's define what character means. Who can tell us what character means? I know there are some literature students here, they will say, character are those people in those novels and plays. No, we are talking about character. Somebody will put up your hand and you tell us what you think character means. By show of hands, character, somebody move the microphone and you take it to Timothy. Timothy is seated right there in the corner. Timothy will try to help us to define what character is. Yes, Timmy? You stand up? Actually, let's do it this way. When you stand up to give any answer, right or wrong, okay. Actually, here we don't have wrong answers. Are we together? You speak out your name, and then you give us the statement that you like to make.
I go by the names of Timothy Yamba, but you cannot just call me Timothy. As a literature student, since we studied much about character, character is basically the traits portrayed by a person, depending on how they behave.
Thank you. Let's give it up for him. I know lunch is approaching, and thus we are still a bit hungry. But when we are giving a hand of loud applause, let's do it cheerfully. Let's do it once again for Tim. Thank you. We can literally say that character is a set of qualities that make someone different from others. Are we together? Assuming you are seated next to someone who is good at fighting, so we shall say that this person has a character of fighting. Are we together? Now, we can say that character determines how well you can achieve your goals. How you behave with others, how you treat them, can enable you to take your strides further. You can get to succeed in your life. And if you have a bad character, it will literally mean that you will fail. Back in the years, friends, we had a boy called Jameson. Jameson would smoke. How many of you have seen your friends at school smoking, for example, or drinking? Just. Some of you have seen them drink, be it at school, be it maybe in the neighborhood of your home. Imagine if this person is not helped to quit drinking or smoking and they become drunkards, that shapes their culture as drunkards. Are we together, friends? Now, our topic this afternoon, in as far as character is concerned, we shall look at what character means. Then we look at the importance of character, call them the benefits, and thereafter we shall look at how one can build a good character. Now, when we are to talk about character being how one treats others, for example, imagine you're the kind of child at home that wants your friends all the time. Why? Can I have some drinking water? You're giving orders, but you're also a child at home. True? Or mpaka sani yako. I mean, for everything that you want to send someone as if you're lame. Even when they tell you to say, okay, could you please have your bed sheets washed? Because these are your own bed sheets. You don't want to listen because you believe you have a chest that is as big as mine, and therefore you can wrestle with everyone. Friends, being a man or woman of valor or value or honor does not require you to behave that way. Actually, great men and women and boys and girls, when they are given instructions, they listen in. Are we together? When they are given instructions, they do listen and take them in as good counsel. Assuming you were in my place and I have asked you to bring me that chair, but you really see me standing here and I am not doing anything, and you really know that I can help myself to pick that chair, how would you feel? I'm asking a question. How would you feel when you really know that I can help myself, okay? And I am rather sending you to do something for me. How would you feel? Let me see a show of hands. How would you feel?
I feel like I'm a maid at home.
You feel like a maid at home. Like your being disrespected. Right? Okay? Any other hand? Any other hand? Let's do it faster. How would you feel when somebody orders you a rum? Bring me this. When you have brought it, they say again. Give it to my son.
I am like a person that is sick.
Oh yes, you're being regarded as a person who doesn't think. Like you are just there for just.
I feel disrespected.
You feel disrespected. You feel dishonored. I know they are my friends whom I shall not point fingers at. But let me tell you something. They know how to sit in the living room. They want food to be brought onto the table, like how their fathers or their parents are served. When dad and mommy are not home, they are the bosses in the house. I think if it was rightly in their means, even when they go to the washroom, call it the toilet or latrine, okay? They would have sent somebody to say, oh, please, could you please bring me some tissue? You yourself. Are we together, ladies and gentlemen? Soldiers, I would have dressed like them. But since I wasn't instructed as thus, I chose not to. Doctor, I think next time, if I am accorded an opportunity, I shall come dressed like those soldiers. So that when I say, friends, I am a soldier and I'm an army officer, you will simply say, yes, he is, because that is how he's dressed. Okay, character matters in our interaction and daily function. yourself, how you package yourself, will tell the world of the kind of person that you are. Back then, friends, we were staying in a place called Makindye. How many of you come from Makindye? Or no Makindye? I was a small boy, and one evening I am walking around. I think they had sent me to the shop. On return, I was walking, a walk-run. And I was speaking words that were profane in nature. Fuck you, motherfucker, fuck you. Now, one of my dad's friends had me. I didn't know that he had seen and heard me. He just walked home and found when I had also just arrived and called out my father. And he said, your son, the words he was speaking, the words that were coming from his mouth are not of a responsible child. Friends, hell broke loose. Hell broke loose. The way my father treated me then, I think today is the day I have tried to speak out those two words again. The guy worked on me. He really worked on me so much that I even forgot what those words, how those words sounded. Okay? Now, imagine if this man had left me to go the way I was. He would literally find me when I'm walking, my collar is up like this. And perhaps my pair of trousers is down here. The belt is down here. And this would be the walking style. You get it? So, character matters in our daily interactions. Could you please excuse me and I put my collar right? Okay, good people with good character make a better society for all of us. Imagine yourself tomorrow. You're not a drunkard. You're not somebody who stands by the roadside in the night here, trying to earn a living using their bodies. Imagine yourself tomorrow not in that kind of lifestyle. Good character enables you to make good decisions. I remember vividly, one of my former teachers told me this, that it's better to be alone than forming bad groups. Imagine you're in a group of people who are fond of stealing their friends' items at school. When they say there is kadanke, it is you, the master planner. Yes, at some point, friends, one night we escaped from school to go and fake kadanke. How many of you know kadanke? Kadanke. Yes. Now, when we went, wherever we went, we're a group of 12 boys and we used to think that we are disciples. And we would leave our shirts at school but go in white vests. That was our trademark wear. So we went to a faraway place from our school. Friends, we walked the entire night. And we kept on hearing the sound of the music from afar, and we would try to follow where the music is coming from. Imagine you're from here and they tell you, this kadanke could be around where you're getting it. You trek in the night and you're like, we're almost getting there. Then when you're almost getting there, you really find that the music is again further. And then you see, the entire night, ladies and gentlemen, we did not find the music. Now, this should be the last time. I tried again, we escaped again. When we were climbing up the hill, a police pickup truck arrived. Every one of us took off into the bush. My parents had bought me a new pair of shoes. But as we entered the bush, there was barbed wire. And this barbed wire tore my shoe, my right foot shoe, all the way from the head toy to the heel. Now, how would I explain to my parents that actually I was escaping to go to the dance, and then we met the police, and as I took off into the bush to hide myself, my shoe got torn. You see, from that day, ladies and gentlemen, friends, nalopoka. Escaping from school, especially for you who are in boarding section, I said, to God be the glory, I'll never escape again. Good character enables you to observe rules and regulations. Okay? If they say, okay, you are required to be in class by 8 a.m. By 7:55, you're in class seated. Because that's what the rule requires you to do. If I say stand up and you really sit up, sit down, good character enables you to have a clear following of the rules and regulations. Don't we have rules and regulations at home, ladies and gentlemen? Don't we? Whereby they say, okay, by 9 or 8 p.m., supper should be on the table. For you who are above 18, they tell you to say, sawe muwene kusanga wabweri sulayo. Friends, that is how good character can shape you. How about treating others with respect? You are respectful. You respect each other. You respect your age mates. It is a show of good character for you to respect others. Even by passing, there is a time I was passing by, I went to visit someone's home, and when I got there, a child came and told me, a child chased me away from the chair, and the child claimed ownership and possession of the chair. Are we together? Imagine if you visited me at my home and my child ordered you to vacate my seat, the seat. But also, let's remember that good character helps you to build confidence in yourself. If you know you're not a wrongdoer, you're not good, you don't do anything bad, okay? How then shall you not be a person of good character? Now, let's look at what affects character. What do you think may affect you from being a person of good character? What do you think may cause somebody to have a bad character? It is your question, and I shall receive answers before I tell you what it means. Somebody has a microphone? Yes. Begin from the other side. You give it to my brother in the corner. XQ. He should give you an answer. Let's brainstorm. In the corner. XQ. Okay. What do you think may affect one's character? What do you think? In your thoughts, what do you think? Just speak out your mind. I earlier told you that we don't have any wrong answers here. Yes. Yes. Stand up. Stand up. Your name?
Java Eric.
Bad
behaviors.
Bad behaviors? Like, give us an example. Derek?
Abusing.
Being abusive? Mumukubi yengali ez'amaanyi? Yes, actually, Uncle asazeewo akuwadde ekirabo. Derek, there is a token of appreciation. Yes. Where's my microphone? Yes. What do you think may affect our character? You stand up, your name. Bad peer groups. Let's give it up for her. Bad peer groups. They affect our character. Any other? There is my sister right there.
Sometimes people can be lonely and then they get organized. Like the proverb that says, an idle mind is a devil's workshop.
Beautiful.
So they can get evil thoughts. And sometimes when they are lonely, they can get peer groups they can join. And they feel like that is the person who is there for them. So they just have to do what those people do.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Let's give it up for her. Are those hands painful, ladies and gentlemen? I saw another hand somewhere. Yes, there is a hand here. I'm coming. Don't worry, friends. I'm coming.
I'm Kawthara Bint Muhammad. The way you are treated at home, it can make you to be bad character.
Oh, yes. Being treated, it forms that character. Oh, yes. Any other? Yes.
Jamima,
Yes.
people watch on social media can make them become.
Addiction to social media. I hope, ladies and gentlemen, you're writing all these points, because at some point I'm going to make a recap and I shall ask you. We have exhausted this side. Let's go to the middle area. Yes, there is my daughter there. Stealing. Oh yes. Tubiye mukamengala ez'amaanyi nga bwe twekubamu obuzibu bw'obubbi. Oh yes. Yes.
My name is Bakan Bokapia. Sometimes being jealous can lead to bad characters.
Yes, being jealousy, like too much love for something that is not yours. You look at someone, they are nicely dressed, and you look at yourself and you're like, perhaps I should steal so that I get that pair of shoes. Yes. Walking at night alone, even when you have not communicated to people at home. My other friends will call it freelancer. Yes. Killing. Hey. We have seen people killing others. So we first move to that end. What forms a bad character? Yes.
Okuvuma abooluganda, abazadde, olugambo, emputtu, n'okubba, okulimba, okukola ebintu ebirala bingi, amaze.
Emputtu, obulimba. How do you call emputtu? How do you call emputtu in English? Bad manners. That is a fair trial. Any other? Yes. Arrogance. Quite closer. Yes.
Not hearing.
Not hearing. Yes. Give it to her. Big-headed. Okay. We are closer. You want to tell me something? This side has exhausted a lot, has used a lot of our time.
Being stupid.
Being stupid. Quite close to the answer. Yes. Quite close. quite close. Yes, let's take it to her. Being stubborn. Quite close, yes. Disobedience. Oh my goodness. All those answers are hitting at one thing. There is a hand there, and then extreme. Wiseking. Mr. and Mrs. Know-it-all. Mr. and Mrs. All of you. Yes. Yes.
Being dense.
Being dense. Like you are just there. You don't know whether you know it or you don't, but you are just there. Let's give it to her. Rumamongering. Hey, you people. Okay. Because all those answers lead us to one thing. Okay? Let me tell you something. How do we call someone that is insolent? Insolence, like being insolent. Like you are just there. Are we together, friends? Ladies and gentlemen, when you are dishonest, imagine you've been given a fees bill. Back then, I remember, doctor, whenever the term would end, would be given a fees bill. Now, there were some students who were a little wiser than others. They passed by some place, they adulterate the figures. If tuition is 1.2 million shillings, they will say tuition is 1.5 million shillings. As if they are going to get it from their own pockets. And then you really find these parents waiting to say, but the 300,000 is whose? Are we together, friends? Being dishonest portrays a bad character in you. Even when you have broken a plate at home and your parents return and they will say, okay, I am not seeing this plate. What happened to it? Where is it? And somebody chooses to keep quiet. And they say, Timothy, where is the plate? I don't know. I didn't see it. When actually it's Tim that has broken the plate. Friends, today I want to confess. Back then, when I was a small boy, I had gone to school. I so happened to have grown up with my grandmother. And I would do almost all the house chores at home. Because my other cousins, they were always pig-headed. Who is going to prepare supper? It's me. I'll get a knife and peel the matoke. Then I have to collect firewood. I'll run to the well and fetch water. Remember, it is after school. Now, one fateful morning, I left half a jerrycan of water. That morning, I didn't go to the well. So, upon returning, I expected to find some food at home. Now, we had a kitchen, you know, the village setting. Some of you do not even know your villages. We should campaign and we say, all children that have come here today, the next holiday they should be taken to the village and they see where their villages are. Now, when I returned, there was a saucepan that had been laid up. Mrs. Ntege, how do we call Obgamba? Ahabgamba, Akatanda. Okay. Now, that place where the saucepan had been situated was made up in such a way that there were logs of wood above the cooking place. So, short as I was, or tall as I was back then, when I got to to the kitchen. I was like, hey, my grandmother had thought about me. Remember, my other cousins were not yet back. So I got a chinu. How do we call a chinu in English? A mortar. Now, this was not a metallic mortar. It was a wooden mortar. So I climbed on the mortar. A chinu. Now, as I stretched my hand to touch on the saucepan, which was covered with a big plate, like up here like this. Now, this mortar tilted and it went down with me. Remember, I had just tapped this plate up here. So I came down with the plate tumbling down. And by bad luck, the plate fell on the stone. Do you think it survived? It did not survive. It broke into pieces. Now, supper time. Remember, it's me in the kitchen who is cooking. Now I was like, you people who didn't prepare food with me, look for the plates. We should serve food. So that it is them to go and look for the plate. Because it was a family plate. Friends, we looked for the plate. We looked for it. Until today we are still looking for the plate. Because no one knows where exactly the plate went, apart from me, who witnessed it all. Would you regard me as an honest person then? For my failure to declare that I broke the family plate, I was dishonest. But in one way or the other, I have paid for my sins. Every Christmas, when I go home, I say, okay, I think this set of plates, they have served enough of their time. So I come with a dozen and place it there. I have paid enough for my sins. Not so. I went with the friends. So being dishonest renders you or describes you as someone with a bad character. Are we together? All right, let's look at finally something that can enable us to build a good character. Hey, did I mention this? Being bossy, being bossy, you are the boss in the house all the time. It is you. It is your orders that should be taken in. Really portrays a bad character. It is your word that should be taken, not any other person's word. Okay? Are we together, friends? Let's look at building a good character. Can we be seen as people who can keep our promises? If you tell your mother to say, if mommy calls and says, okay, make sure you clean your bathroom and the toilet. Yes, mommy. Actually, you should be seen as somebody who can respond to your yes. You're a promise keeper. If you have promised that you are going to do something, then do exactly what you are supposed to do. Keep that promise. Be a promise keeper. Do not be seen as someone who cannot keep their word, who cannot keep their promise. The English say procrastination is a thief of time. Are we together? Procrastination is a thief of time. They tell, could you please clean here? Yes, I will. Could you please clean here? Yes, I will. Could you please clean here? Yes. Kwegaba, you have become, yes, I will, woman. They say, okay, could you please switch off the TV? Yes, I will. But you really feel that perhaps you you want to watch this last episode, please switch off the TV. Yes, mommy. Somebody who said yes, mommy, is not even switching off the TV. Could you please bring that phone? Yes, mommy, I am bringing it. And then you wait for someone to bring the phone and you're like, is the phone working or it is being walked here? Back then, friends, when I was a small boy, I grew up from a very extended family. Now, one fateful day, money stands at the doorway and says, and people call us. You know how women, mothers call. Comrade, Bianca, Brian, Timothy, Thomas. No one is responding, yet we were all hearing her. What our mother did, I'm sure Madame Rosette will tell us this. She stood somewhere and made a statement that shook us all. Imagine. Am I calling children or they are in the morgue? One by one. Yes, mommy. Yes, mommy. Why would you wait to be insulted? The whole point is, why would you wait for your parent to use quite a heavy word on you when you can literally respond in time and understand why you are being called? Are we together, ladies and gentlemen? Some of you, even when you're in bed and mommy comes and says, you flutter them all. I remember one day when we were sleeping, somebody called my call and I was the first to respond. To look. Imagine, you claim you're sleeping. Not so. Can somebody who is sleeping respond? So, friends, that renders our character a bad one. Okay. Be consistent in dealing with others. If you have her as your friend, let her indeed be a friend. Okay? Not a friend with benefits. Because you not he or she will come with parking that you do not have. Maybe she will come with grab that you don't have. But for you, when you have, you hide yourself. You even know how to eat from your blanket. You cover yourself and you eat from the blanket because you don't want to share with her. Okay? Now, can we try to be nice? Even when sometimes the moment may not call for being nice. Like you try to be calm. Are we together, ladies and gentlemen? Now, finally, I will tell you this. As my children, I'll refer you to the Gospel of Matthew. Can all of you write the word? Matthew chapter 7, verse 16. Matthew chapter 7, verse 16. What does the verse say? By their deeds, you will know them. By their deeds, you will know them. Are we together, friends? What you do shall let us know the kind of person that you are. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a beautiful afternoon. In case you have those questions, we shall move around, pick those questions, and we shall answer them accordingly. Are we together? Yes.
We played the